Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Losers Bracket Round 7 of the Eternal Tournament Series Season 2 Invitational. We are bringing you Kampf Croat on his Burn Queen list versus Bobbert Joe on Shimmering Combry.
Yeah, and the winner of this match will advance to play against Sir Rhino, who we just saw win another real nail biter last round.
Yeah, and we will be jumping into that one after this. So the winner of this one is going to get the honor to play Rhino. And we're already seeing out of Kampf pretty solid early start. And he's got the Caleb's favor to give him the third power. And that's actually going to put these Champions of Chaos online. This is starting to look like a really solid hand for him. And
Yeah,
Bobber Joe on the other side.
Missing his third power and his first primal influence, which is kind of a death sentence against a deck like Burn Queen.
Yeah, I feel like we may have already seen the end of this matchup. I would not be surprised if this game only goes one or two more turns. And with Bobbert missing another land drop, this is really not looking good. He at least had the Vanquish in hand to make sure that the turn wasn't completely lost, but definitely not what you were looking for there. And we see Kampf reload with another champion. He missed a power as well, but yeah, Bobber Joe just missing another power. This is going to be the death sentence right here. This is going to be a very fast game one.
So this is this Bandit Queen that we're seeing here the only non-premium card in Kampf's deck? Because the other 9 cards that we just saw were all premium.
Yeah, it might just be the Bandit Queens, and maybe Kampf isn't as crazy as Loco. Like maybe he's not as loco as Loco. We'll even go as far as to say that. But Poja over here crafting his legendary Voprex. Maybe Kampf just doesn't have the stones laying around. Go ahead and make them.
Well, but the difference there though is that Bandit Queen is actually a good card.
Yeah, Bandit Queen is a reasonably good card, and it definitely finds a home in a deck like this. And we just saw Bandit Queen like showcase a little bit of its power, even though Bobbert was power screwed. It's unlikely, even with some of the cards he had that he would have been able to establish on board, that the Bandit Queen coming down wouldn't have sped this game up into a hasty end.
Yeah, so let's kind of look at the sideboard here and see if Bobbert has anything that could slow the game down. And it looks like he does. 4 Stormlinks and 4 Combray Healer all live in the sideboard and are perfect for this matchup.
Yeah, the 4 Stormlinks are coming in. The Combray Healers are coming in. We also see him pick up, I think he had some extra copies of Vanquish floating around that he was able to add in. So those are coming in to hopefully take care of some of the other units.
Yeah, and on the other side, Kampf has a whole wealth of options. I'm not sure what he actually wants to go for here. Maybe Plague, maybe Sabotage to take care of either the small units or the Xenon Obelisks.
Yeah, it's hard to say with a deck like his. Like Queen almost doesn't need a sideboard most games. Like your plan is so simple. It's just I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do it really fast.
Yeah, I almost like doing no sideboard and just staying as low to the ground and aggressive as possible and just hoping that you can rush him down if he stumbles again, like in game 1.
Yeah, and I think we see him picking up some Obliterates and taking out some Flame Blasts. So like minor changes like that, trying to kind of change what his access to his removal is for this next game. So I can agree with things like that. Like the Obliterates are nice against things like Sandstorm Titan, and they also can just roll through little token units or Lynxes, Combray Healers. Get in some extra damage though.
Looks like he brought in Treachery as the only sideboard card.
Yeah, I think he just brought in extra copies of a couple cards, and then he brought those Treacheries in.
All right, so Kampf has another reasonably aggressive start here. Like he's going to be able to go Argenport Instigator into Champion of Chaos. But Bobbert Joe is going to have the critical Combray Healer this time.
Yeah, and this is where we see where a card like Combray Healer can actually get some really important interactions in a match like this. Its ability to essentially just stonewall the aggression out of Kampf is going to be really big here. And we actually see him elect to put the extra health on the 1/4, or the 1/1 rather. That's kind of interesting. I guess it's a less valuable target. So when something like this happens, where Kampf is going to have to fire off the torch here, it feels a lot better for Bobbert.
Yeah, he doesn't lose a good unit to the torch or the rapid shot. And interesting that Kampf opted to do that when and passed on playing a Champion of Chaos. I think I would have preferred to just let there go one turn of not attacking and just play the champion.
Yeah, very true. And this is already turning out to be. This is turning out pretty interesting for Kampf. He's not got a lot going on to deal with the Sandstorm Titan currently. He has an Obliterate, but he's going to have to find another power for it, and everything else is outmatched by that Titan in the meantime.
Yeah, Titan is somewhat difficult for Stone Scar decks to deal with just because they need to get to 5 power to be able to take care of it. But he does get the 5 power and is able to obliterate that Titan.
And even more importantly, that was a Shadow Sigil he picked up. So both these Champions of Chaos are actually online as 5/5s, which is a very nice stat line in a matchup like this. Ooh, and Bobbert, unfortunately, casting the Permafrost into the Cabal Countess. Like, I get the need to lock Cabal Countess down, but these Champions of Chaos are going to put in a lot of work.
Yeah, Cabal Countess baits the permafrost, and now 2 champions shopping this turn from Conf, and they're just going to be able to run wild. Like Bauer's going to take 14 or 18 damage before he's able to trade with these guys.
Yeah, Bobbert's going to have to find a game plan here very quickly, and it's possible that Kampf will use this Dark Return to go get that Argenport Instigator, make it a 4/4 to hold his board a little bit better, and also create incidental damage out of the champions.
Yeah, interestingly, Kampf opts to only attack with 1 champion. Perhaps he's a little bit afraid, and then he does Dark Return the Archbird Instigator. I really don't like this play at all. I like just attacking with both of the champions, and then if one of them gets traded with, bringing that back, because the 4/4 doesn't do anything here, really. It can't attack into these Seraphs.
Yeah, true. I think. I
Although,
think.
never mind. This is
Ooh,
why I don't play Burn Queen. It gets boosted by that Bandit Queen, and now it gets to attack.
yeah, interestingly enough, though, I think Kampf is only going to be able to swing with a couple units here, since he would die on the swing back, and he might even still have to sacrifice these units to Seraphs. We will see as the turns come down. Yeah, I don't know about swinging in with the 2 there. It might have worked out better. He would probably be lower, though I don't think he was ever going to get one of those Champions of Chaos traded away.
So let's see. Can Kampf afford to block any Yetis here? Looks like no. He has to block the Seraph and the Amber Acolyte, and then he will go down to 1, and Bobbert will draw 4
Uh,
cards.
will he go down to 1 is my question. Will he not die from the Argenport Instigator damage?
Oh, yeah, true. He will be... Oh, so he has to chump block both Seraphs, and still will go down to 1.
And even then, I don't think that's enough, because that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, and then the Seraphs have Overwhelm, so they would just run through the unit. So yeah, Kampf quickly doing the math, realizing that there's no way for him to block here that actually gets him out, and realizing he made a slight error with his attack last turn.
So, I don't know, Kampf, that game kind of ran away with him, I think, on turn 3 when he torched the 1/4 instead of playing a Champion of Chaos. That means he was behind on board, and the Sandstorm Titan was able to come down for Bobbert and really put Kampf on the back foot, which Queen deck is not well equipped to play from.
Yeah, I agree. I think that torch had to be placed somewhere else, whether it be the face or for a trade. I don't think the 1/4 was the place there, but
Well, I think it's less that the 1/4 wasn't the place, but this turn 3 wasn't the time. And that needed to be a Champion of Chaos turn.
yeah, and that's true too. Like, you need to establish those units down. Like, you need to start pressuring your opponent very quickly. So we're gonna see him re-examine the sideboard, and Comp going in and cutting out his. He's just re-sideboarding his whole deck. So seeing what he wants to put in or take out. He's gonna cut the Umbran Reapers here. Yeah, cuts Umbran Reaper, cuts the Falchion, cuts the Treacheries, cuts the Sabotages.
I think you don't want the Umbran Reapers this matchup just because they die and match up so poorly against Desert Marshal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he forgot to save his board there, but I'm almost positive that was almost the exact same board. I think the Treacheries came out, so that was the difference. He pulled his 2 Treacheries and put 2 more cards in their place.
Yeah, just wants to go all on the board. Doesn't want to deal with discarding cards from the hand.
Yeah, and a slow start out of him, which may not be the worst, but Bobbert's hand over here looks like it's pretty well equipped to handle the threats Comp has.
And Kampf does pick up a Argent Port Instigator here, but decides to opt for a 4/4 Overwhelm Champion of Chaos next turn over a Argent Port Instigator this turn.
Yeah, and that's a pretty solid play. Like it's not too difficult. It's not too difficult for Bobbert Joe to deal with a single 3/3. This
Yeah,
fourth.
so Bobber can play a Combre Healer here, but it's not going to be able to block this champion. So I think Vanquish is definitely a better play.
Yeah, well, actually, why was there a reason the Cumbria Healer couldn't block outside of the rapid
The
shots?
rapid
But
shots, yeah.
yeah.
Comp's just his deck is just filled with 8 1 power ways to punch through there.
Yeah, that
So just getting the first turn damage off the board is the safe play.
yeah, that Oni Ronin pickup is actually, I think, going to be huge for Comp here. He needed these extra units on board to start putting pressure. We're going to see the Storm Links get jumped in and try and block the Oni, to which it will be rapid shotted.
Yep, but again, though, this does mean that Comp spent his turn playing a trick and not playing a unit. So the impending doom isn't going to be able to come down until next turn.
Yeah, this is very true. I think I think that's a different edge case. I felt like that was a time where it was more acceptable to rapid shots since he actually still had pressure on the versus the other game where he lost out on his on pressuring the board, which is something that's very important to do with. You want to be on that board.
Also super different because that was an ambush that he didn't anticipate from Bobbert Joe, and also because this time his unit would have died, whereas in the previous game, the units just bounced off each other with no effect.
Yeah, and we see, gonna go ahead and get that other rapid shot in there. Nice. Getting a little bit more damage down. This Oni Ronin's still alive. We got 2 Warcry triggers on top of the deck and still 5 power down. Bobber Joe considering now whether or not he's going to need to lock these units down with Permafrost. And interestingly enough, locking an Argent Port Instigator to the board is sometimes super detrimental to you when you do it.
Yeah, so Kampf is just drawing a bunch of burn here, continuing to get in these Warcry attacks. This game is looking much, much better for Kampf.
Yeah, it definitely is. Though something to note, and I think Comp just moused over it too, that we didn't point out, he is lacking a second Shadow influence, so he actually can't even commit the impending doom to the board.
Yeah, he's completely dependent on a Flame Blast for interaction now, I suppose.
Yeah, he's going to need to find something, and Obliterate being online is pretty good. That'll take care of the 3/3 and push an extra 3 damage, though he's considering whether or not that should just go face, I think.
Yeah, I like putting the first Obliterate here at the unit because you need to draw a third burn spell to burn him out anyways. And so if you Obliterate face, then Torch can be that third burn spell. But if you Obliterate the 3/3 Sandcrawler, Bobber Show will be at 12, and you just need to find another Obliterate to win the game.
Well, he actually will be at 11, notably. The Argent Port Instigator is locked to the board, so every time...
Instigator got silenced by Desert Marshal last turn.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. See, I'm missing out on that then. Okay. In that case, yeah. In that case, I'm completely with you. Yeah, I think it has to go to this year. I think that's your game plan in this series.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up. These players both play very quickly.
Yeah, that they do. He's getting run up, and there it is. Oh man, we're actually gonna see it get pulled out here. What would Bobbert Joe have to hit to actually Xenonobelisk? Does Xenonobelisk win the game?
Two Combre healers off of these draws. Or just one even. Flame Blast only does 5 damage.
Yeah, true. He would need to get 1 extra power if we see a Cumbria healer picked up.
But he just He just finds a Crystallize and 3 power. So Kampf going upstairs with those Obliterates works out.
Wow, picking up the Torch even. Yeah, wow. Had plenty of damage to finish that game. So Kampf will be running over that one 2-1 over Bobbert Joe. We are going to see the Queen deck advancing on to play Rhino, and that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Burn Queen versus Felon Control is really weird. Felon Control, in theory, is the deck that's like best equipped to beat it with the Lightning Storms running around and all their removal, but it is so easy for Queen to just get up under somebody and run them over like we just saw in that game.
Yeah, Serrano's going to need to stick a Black Sky Harbinger and gain some health. Otherwise, he's just going to get burned out in late game, no matter how many units he Lightning Storms.
Yeah, going to be very difficult for him. But He has played excellently so far, as his comp. So both these players will be facing off in what will be our last best of 3 match of the day. After Sir Rhino and Comp, the winner will go on to play the loser of Loco Pojo and I Read Minds. And all of those games, the I Read Minds and Loco Pojo game, the loser of that playing Rhino, and the grand finals will all be played in best of 5 format with sideboarding after game 1.
Yep. So stay tuned, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Just the most exciting matches of the tournament are coming up right now.
Yep.